Hi and welcome to my review of the Meross garage door opener, the MSG100HK. Both versions of this product support Amazon Alexa, Google Assistant, if this then that, but this is the first product, first garage door opener from Meross to support Apple HomeKit. Who, what, when, where, why. Meross is a Chinese company that manufactures their products locally and distributes them globally. The Meross garage door opener is a product that is separately powered to, but plugs into, your garage door operator to provide it with smart home compatibility. As mentioned earlier, the notable point about this product is that it now supports Apple HomeKit, so this now enters the foray into the various HomeKit products and specifically the other HomeKit garage door openers, which I will be comparing this to in this review. Let's start the review. The Meross garage door opener is a fantastic product, I have to say, first and foremost off the bat. It's very easy to use, it's got great functionality, and especially the price is one of its best features. Meross's product costs only £42.99, which is fantastic value for what you're getting. iSmartGate, Meross's closest competitor for this product, produces their own garage door opener, and that product costs roughly 120 euros, which is almost 3 times the cost of Meross's. So right off the bat, there's a significant difference in that regard. When I was having my operator installed recently for my garage, the Horman service people recommended they install the Horman product that gives it HomeKit support. That clocked in at almost £200. At least that was what I was quoted, which is almost 5 times the price. That's outrageous, and it's showing exactly how disruptive this product is. Okay, the installation of the product. Installing this product was surprisingly easy, even for me who's adverse to sort of DIY things, manually wiring. This product, I went and looked at review of the earlier iteration that didn't support HomeKit, and what I found was that you had to originally disassemble the product and attach the wiring via screws. That seemed very finicky, kind of intimidating for some users. That's all gone now in this version of the product. It's all plug and play. All you have to do is plug in the device into the USB power. Be aware the cable is 1.5 meters, so you might need to find a way to accommodate that. Meross includes command strips, which you use to secure the opener and the magnets. The first thing you do is you connect the device to power and you scan the HomeKit code, and this will start pairing the device with your home and iOS. This is necessary to get HomeKit compatibility. After that point, you don't need to use the app, but you might want to, depending on the features. The official app provides timers, so you can close the door based on timers, and it also gives you notifications if the door's been left open. So it's up to you whether to install that, but it's not actually necessary, which I found quite surprising and quite useful actually, that it lets you forgo that. A lot of apps require you to pair, and there can be a lot of finicky things to do with pairing. Not at all. This product is very easy to pair, and it's also no Wi-Fi issues either. It connects directly to your Wi-Fi. I had 0 issues, which is very surprising. A few other products have been quite finicky about that, so I'm glad to report that. After you've paired the product, you want to bring the 2 magnets together, not attached to anything, just to confirm that the garage door opener is properly confirming if it's open or closed, depending on whether the magnets are close together or not. Once it's powered on and you confirm that works, go ahead to attach the opener to the operator or wherever you want to attach it. And next, you need to attach the magnetic door sensors that the device uses to know whether the door is open or closed. One needs to attach onto the garage door, and the other needs to attach onto the garage door frame. The goal of that is to make sure there's only 1 inch of space in between the 2 magnets. Any more than that, and you won't get an accurate reading. And any less than that, there's a risk of them catching each other when the door opens. But thankfully, I never had that when I installed this product. Right off the bat, we have a comparison between the Meross garage door opener and the iSmartGate product. The iSmartGate product requires you to use wireless sensors that connect to the garage door and the frame or wherever it needs to be. I think batteries are a bad way to go for products like this. If a lot of smart home products require batteries, so if you're going to start stacking up lots of different battery products, it's going to be a lot of annoying notification over the years. Not a problem with this. Everything with a Meross garage door opener is wired, which I think is a big pro. Some people might not prefer it, but personally I do. And then feed your wiring back through, make a nice little neat setup. I was kind of messy here, but you can probably make a nice neater setup than I have. Next up, you need to attach the opener to the operator. Here's my only criticism of the installation process. You need to insert 2 cables from the opener into the operator. The cables simply insert into 2 terminals and you close the terminals off, but the problem can be knowing where exactly those are in your particular setup. The Meross provide a compatibility tool where you just plug in your operator and it'll tell you whether or not this product is compatible with your operator. But the problem is it doesn't elaborate any more than that. You have to do a little bit of research to find out how exactly you plug the wiring into your operator. So you can dig out your old manual, which I highly doubt anyone has, or you can do what I did and have a sneaky peek at iSmartGate's compatibility tool, which actually gives you a nice labeled diagram based on your own operator, and it tells you exactly what terminals you need to plug the wires into. Both the wiring on this product and iSmartGate's is the same, so it's going to work even though it's a different product. I think this is something Meross could work on. Their website is quite simplistic, as is the compatibility tool. I know it'll be a lot of work, but if you could add diagrams to the compatibility tool, I think that would be a big confidence booster for people who might be a little bit averse to any sort of DIY or finicky wiry stuff like I was. The process was not difficult at all. I would have been kind of lost and probably had to dig my head into online PDFs and forums if I didn't have that diagram. So if Meross, if you could work on your own version, that'd be great. I think that would entice a lot of people to jump in. Once it's powered, plugged into the operator, and the magnets are properly attached to the door, you're good to go. That's it. Okay, so now we've installed the Meross garage door opener onto our garage door operator, and we now have home control in the iOS Home app. So now it appears as a device, and we'll just operate if I push this button, but even better. Close the garage door. So now we have Siri control and home control over our garage door opener. So I no longer need to use any sort of home remote to do anything with the garage door. I can use Siri, and this allows me to add automations to the setup as well. It couldn't be easier. I'm really happy with it. It really is a simple process to get your old operator hooked into your smart home using this product. Pressing the relevant button in your home app opens the door, pressing it again closes it. Very simple. You can take this further by automating the garage door to open based on various circumstances. Most notably, and probably the one you're thinking of, is to open when you arrive and close when you leave. By hooking your operator into your home app, you've opened up a lot of possibilities to do in lots of different things. You can trigger devices to activate based on the state of the garage door. You can open the garage door depending on different things like the aforementioned location. As added failsafes, I also set up automations to close the garage door when my upper landing motion detector detects motion. The idea being when I come in after getting out the car, I come upstairs, and obviously I want the garage door to shut, so it closes it for me then. You can take this another step further, so when I say goodnight to Siri, it shuts off all the lights and then double checks if the garage door opener is closed. Like I mentioned before, Meross's official app will give you a notification if the door's left open, so you don't have to use the home app either. You can just use them interchangeably if you want to. The opener's latency is almost instant as well. As soon as you command Siri to open and close the door or press the button yourself on the app, it's doing it. There's no discernible delay, which is fantastic because I know there's a lot of smart home products out there of lower quality that will introduce a delay that's kind of frustrating. Instant response from Meross's product really gives it a premium feel, which is quite nice. It's an opener, it opens the door, it closes the door, it does what I need it to do, which is be a reliable hook into the HomeKit system. That's really why I invested into this product, and it really does its job well. My only issue I've found so far with the product is likely due to Apple's fault, but I'll explain it nevertheless. Sometimes the home app doesn't accurately display the status of the garage door opener. Sometimes it'll, if I've told it to close, it'll say it's closing and have like a little spinning wheel on it for a good 30 seconds. It's always opening or closing the door, but it doesn't really give you a lot of certainty when this happens when you're out and about. When I was driving one day, I left my house and I got about 350 meters away, and it said I gave the command to close the door. And it did that sort of pending, unsure, vague status. And I wasn't really sure what was going on. So I had to pull over and I had to reissue the command to close. I wasn't sure what it was doing, so I told it to open. Nothing was happening. So I actually had to drive back and check what it was doing, and it was stuck half open. So at that point, I got out and started to experiment a little to see how it reacted. And as it turns out, the garage door opener likes a bit of timing between the different commands it gets. if you attempt to open, close, open, close, open, close, it's not going to lucidly pause the opening and closing process of the door. Now, I don't know if this is a Meross, Apple, or my actual operator, but I had to mention it nonetheless. If I take my actual operator's remote and attempt to open and close it rapidly, it will stop halfway through the process and continue from where it left off. It doesn't get confused. Now, the problem was when I was issuing commands to the Meross product, you can actually hear you can hear a switch inside the product go off, which I assume is you firing the command to it, and it sends the command to the operator. So every time I interacted with it, I could hear that noise going off. So I know commands were being issued to the operator, but it wasn't following them. So this could very well be a problem with the operator and not the Meross product, but I thought I'd mention it nonetheless. Now, this doesn't actually pose a problem for me. So if I issue a command to open it, if I wait 10 seconds, I'll know wherever I am that command is likely completed. So after the command's completed, I can issue the close command, and I know it's going to do that. So if you set up automations and leave it to its own devices, it'll be fine. There's no need to panic about whether or not it's closing or opening. And Home always gives you a notification if it's opened or closed. So you only need to worry if you don't receive that notification, but otherwise I've been fine. That scenario I just described has only ever happened once. And I think it's only because I issued a command using my voice in the car when usually I let the automation do it itself. This is sort of a running theme here, that the only faults I've noticed are probably due to Apple's fault. Now, the next two problems are definitely on Apple's fault, but I thought I'd mention them nonetheless because I know a lot of HomeKit buyers will be looking to get this product. So the first problem is that any automation to open or close the door will require an authorization. So that essentially means unlocking the device. Now, automations that require an authorization are pretty self-defeating, but thankfully there's a way around this, and it's quite straightforward. So the trick to dealing with this is you get a smart HomeKit plug. I believe Meross also do a smart HomeKit plug, and you plug this into your mains. You reassign your automations based on the door to the plug. So when you leave home, turn off the plug. When you arrive home, turn on the plug. And then you set up another couple of automations to control the garage door based on the plug. So you set up an automation when the plug turns on, you open the garage door, and when the plug turns off, close the garage door. So this skirts around Apple's authorization request quite neatly. Admittedly, it does require a separate device, although you don't have to do that. You can just authorize it, but I don't really recommend it because most likely most people interested in this sort of setup are going to be wanting to close the door after they drive away, and it's not a good habit to interact with your phone when you're driving. I know this is kind of confusing, so I've posted a little guide here so you can read it through instead of listening back to my squabbling. Another fault is that the geofencing is either delayed or too big based on leaving or going home. I can't decide what's wrong, but here's the situation. When I arrive home, the door opens pretty much as I roll up, which is exactly what I want. But the problem is when I'm leaving, I have to drive, I've calculated, roughly 300 to 400 meters away before I get the notification that the door has closed. Now, I know it takes about 10 seconds for the door to to fully close from fully open. I would have liked that to close a little bit earlier. You can do this actually, there's a little workaround. Is that you set up your automations instead of being for home to be for your exact address, and that way you can actually customize the size of the geofencing. But for me, my address is not actually on Apple Maps, so I can't do that, which is a little bit annoying, but I don't mind really. Again, this is Apple's fault, not Meross's fault, but seeing as most HomeKit users are going to be primarily interacting with the Home app, I thought I'd mention this nonetheless. So Meross has offered this product for a while now without HomeKit, but now it's finally available to the HomeKit or nothing crowd. The price point really brings this type of purchase into the impulse buy category, when previously it was a little bit of a meditated decision at prices over 100, even 200 pounds. So Meross have done a really good job in pricing it. This type of pricing is exactly what Apple needs from their accessory manufacturers to get more people interested in the HomeKit sphere, because when products are as expensive as the iSmartGate or Harman is really off-putting, and you have to set a huge budget. But not with this product, and I think that's fantastic from Meross. The installation of the Meross garage door opener is straightforward. It's very easy for someone like me who's DIY averse. So if I can do it, anyone can do it. The functionality is fantastic, it's very responsive, it's very intuitive. The real benefit of buying into smart home products is the compounding effect when you compile other devices into your home. The obvious use case for this example is opening or closing it based on your car's location, and by extension you. But beyond opening or closing the door opens up more possibilities. For example, I recently bought a HomeKit doorbell that allows me to answer delivery men when I'm not at home. And then, using the Meross garage door opener, I can ask them through the doorbell to place it in the garage, so I can securely accept deliveries when I'm not at home, which is something which was really difficult to do beforehand. You don't even really need the doorbell part of the equation if you can get your delivery person to answer the phone when they arrive. A garage door operator is a no-brainer device that you want to get hooked into your smart home system, and now it's cheap and easy to do with Meross's product. It almost feels like a steal to get this product 3 to 5 times cheaper than the competition. Meross is a very reputable company. They've produced many HomeKit devices out there. The range is really large actually. I didn't actually realize how big it was before making this video. The customer support is very good as well. I've had really good interactions with them so far. So I have no qualms about recommending this product over anyone else's. I genuinely don't see a reason why you'd even consider the competitors' products at this point. Now for the score. Judging the Meross garage door operator on its own merit, I have to give it a full 10 out of 10. It's the best garage door operator out there, regardless of price, and is compatible with most smart home systems. But when factoring in price, Meross have simply outcompeted the other manufacturers here. This is now the de facto HomeKit option, and I can wholly recommend it. Thanks for watching my review of the Meross Smart Garage Door Opener, the MSG 100HK. If you have any comments or questions, don't be afraid to leave them below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you.